Oh my God. So I'm on Tantan.
Yeah, what's Tantan?
It's this Asian dating website.
Sheesh, okay.
Big ego. So I'm not going to fucking lie. I'm popping the fuck off. But I can't tell if these people are bots or not.
Yeah. Do you know, my friend actually works for a bank and he tells me that there are so many people who get like fully scammed on eHarmony. Like there's so many e-romance scams and they're sending like, not just sending like $300, $400, like millions of dollars to these random people. You should do that.
I'm so scared. I'm actually scared. No, so I've exchanged Instagrams with this person.
Are they real?
And we've said, I don't think so. They've got like 250 followers, following eight people.
Yeah, and
Instagram gave me the warning that they just updated their profile picture and changed their username. So I'm feeling a bit anxious. But anyway.
If I don't hear from Jadyn next week, I'm calling the police.
Oh, God. Welcome back to another episode of Life with Lam. This segment is going to be called Sundays with Sam.
Hey.
Because we're with Sam. And Sam is, or Sammy. No, I feel weird calling you Sam. I don't know.
I don't really care what you call me.
Sammy has been an incredible guest on the Life with Lam podcast, and this is not her first rodeo. We did do a round 2. I just haven't got around to posting it.
That's okay. I feel like I said nothing useful in this episode.
I think we were just so dead.
It was like 10 p.m. when we filmed the last one, and I came after like maybe a shift or something. I don't remember, and I was like, I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah. Well, Sammy, can you give us a brief introduction as to who you are, what you do, what you're about?
I'm Sammy.
Very brief, please. Because you fucking yap so much.
I'm Sammy. I'm a D1 yapper and I'm a bad bitch. I'm kidding. I am a pediatric nurse and I powerlift as a side quest.
As a side quest, incredible. Yeah. If you haven't heard Sammy's story, please check it out. Oh my God, that one was actually crazy. I think you have one of, you might be top 5 most listened to podcasts.
Shit, I'm on it.
Yeah,
oh my God,
you are. Yeah. You can swear.
Okay. I was like, you can bleep it.
What'd you say? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all good. Well, today we're bringing some silly Sundays into the mix of
we
life.
We call it like seedy Sundays.
Seedy?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, you know when you're hungover and you're like feeling seedy?
Nah, I don't drink. Productivity always. No,
so we don't talk about last weekend? No.
True. I think just to make podcasting a bit more fun for myself and not to be more career driven, we're bringing Sammy on as a co-host and hopefully we'll invite some more guests as we get a new couch. Oh my God. I've been on
You've been on the hunt.
I've been on the hunt, Facebook Marketplace and everything. We've been looking for a couch and have been declined over and over and over.
No luck for Jadyn.
No luck. They just don't want to see us succeed.
No, all the haters. The haters are texting all these sellers and they're like, don't sell them to Jadyn. But divine timing. I think when we find the perfect couch, we'll get it.
I think so too. So if you're looking to sell off a couch or anything.
Yeah, or you work at IKEA, you got discounts. Hit us up.
Yep, literally. IKEA, very, very nice. Went there last night with my brother.
Oh, did you?
Just some odd units there.
What?
Just like no, just
what do you mean?
Just I think when you go through the showrooms and you walk, you just see a spectrum of people. And
I feel like last time we went, people probably thought the same thing about us.
True, we were probably like hyena laughing or something.
Me.
Anyway, so I think how this will play out is I will obviously have an agenda.
Yeah, you always have an agenda.
And Sammy is here to yap.
Do what I do best.
Do what you do best. I want to see you thrive, so that's the whole game plan. So on my agenda today, which I haven't even written anything on the iPad yet.
Pretending you have anything to write.
I'm just going to get that ready. We have, if I remember correctly, the cut.
Yeah.
Because we've both gone away from our big backer ways and proceeded to diet down and get lean, get that chiseled jawline. And
the Zempic face.
Yeah. Zempic face. Yeah, so I'm not natty. and I need performance enhancing drugs to cut down.
Wow,
No,
are you on steroids?
I'm not, but that could be a question at hand. So we're going to talk a bit about our cut and then probably got a few more topics lined up, which will be in the title. So, Sammy, since you started your cut first.
Yeah.
Give us
Were you still powerlifting when I was doing my cut?
I was.
Really?
Doesn't that feel like a lifetime ago?
Yeah, that actually, Jadyn has like not powerlifted in a very long time. And like, honestly, I felt like you stopped powerlifting last year.
No, I was grinding, man. I
Yeah.
fully swapped coaches, rehabbed my knees, got to a point where I was like ready to
Really
go.
good. And all of a sudden you PB'd on deadlifts and you're like, all right, see you later.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what? So I'm sorry to flick this onto me, guys, but I went to Japan. I went to Japan and just ate my heart out. Like
As you should.
I should have eaten more, but I couldn't eat pork due to some restraints, which is unfortunate. But really fucked that shit up. I love Japan. I'm gonna go back again. Yeah. But came back. I was a pudge. I was a pudge, bro. I was looking at some of the photos. I was just like, what in the hell?
Well, you look so lean now. Like, I feel like even when you were lean beforehand, like before leaving Japan, you weren't like as pudgy as you would say. But if you compared yourself now to then, you would be like, what the hell?
100%. I think in my head, I've always been like, I'm jacked. I'm so strong.
Yeah.
Like, I'm buff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of Gen Pop friends would be like, oh my God, Jane, like you're so massive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at your biceps and stuff. But it's just meat.
Yeah.
It was like any definition.
Whoa,
There's no muscle
pause.
tissue.
Meat.
Meat.
What do you mean
It
by
was just touching me up, man.
What? No, I get that. And like, it's hard because your friends are never going to tear you down and be like, you look fat as fuck, bro.
Hey, there are a select few, but block out the haters always.
Yeah, obviously.
It's until you're sat in front of a wall. Well, not sat. You're standing in front of a wall in your underwear, and Julian Conversado is taking a photo of you.
Whoa, what the hell are you guys getting up to up there?
Nah, check-ins. We love that. But I think I didn't realize the extent of it until he took a photo of me, and I was actually like, okay, something needs to change here.
Did you feel really vulnerable when he took that photo?
Yeah, 100%. But Julian makes you very comfortable, I will say. And no, they're not paying me or anything. I feel like people are like, are you sponsored? Or like, well, not. No. I think it was a really nice exchange. Like I did the program and documented it, and it's brought a lot of exposure for the gym,
definitely.
I think. Yeah.
I've even like someone who has recently moved to Jules to coach was actually inspired by you, and like we spoke about this at the gym. Shout out Rachel.
Yeah, we love you, Rachel.
And she came and told me, she was like, wow, like Jadyn is doing so good and he's like really grinding. It's really motivating for me. And she was like, oh, I was thinking about like, moving to Jules, and she was like, I think Jadyn's really like made that concrete for me that I want to move to Jules because like, seeing Jadyn do what he does and like how he keeps pushing out all these content, it's really good. And I was like, you should tell Jadyn, because I was like, I think that'll make him feel good, because you were grinding and you're working so hard, like pushing, editing all the time. Like I swear every time we were like, oh, like what are you doing? Or like, let's go gym. You're like, oh, I've got to edit this and this. And I'm like, bro.
It's still like that.
Yeah.
But side note, firstly, thank you, Rachel. That's really lovely. And I think being able to have a positive impact on people and push them in a way that is going to help them change them for the better. Like I don't think I would have continued it or promoted it the way that I have had it not worked and had it not been sustainable as well. Like I needed food. Like I fucking love food, man.
You and me both, bro.
Literally, I love food so much.
Yeah.
So I knew going into a diet, like I'd never dieted before.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never stuck to it. I've always been like, okay, I'm going to plan out my macros for this week. I'm going to do a massive batch of meal prep.
Yeah.
And then I'd just like throw it out the window and just be like, go to KFC or Macca's. Like the loose change menu, god damn.
And you know what? The worst is when Macca's had bloody
November
Macca's Monopoly.
Monopoly, and then November meal or the
what
deals.
What are you
or
trying
something.
to do, bro?
Was it 30 days, 30 deals?
30 days of 30 deals, and I'm like, yeah.
Get in me, bro.
Pause.
Yeah. But it was an incredible experience, and we flipped it onto me. But talk to us about your experience. Yeah, you're obviously cutting into a comp.
Yes.
At the time.
So a couple months ago, as some of you may know, I did Team Champs, and my whole life I'd been like competing as 67.5. But I'd always sat at like 62, 63, and I was like, well, why don't I just try and like cut down to under 60s? And I just wanted to do one comp at under 60 and see how I went, sort of thing. And like the goal was when I go to
It's pissing me off.
sorry.
That's all good.
When I go to APA, which is the new federation, the weight classes change a little bit, and I'll be a 63, which is like the perfect weight class for me. So I was like, all right, I'm going to cut into team champs. And I remember I told Chris in like November, December last year after I did Hobart, I was like, yeah, I'm going to cut. I'm going to stick to my diet. I've done this before. Like I've had experience like dieting and like counting my macros and calories and stuff, like no problems at all. Mind you, backstory, when I was 11 years old, I was 80 kilograms. Like I was a big old ball of meat.
We get a photo pop up or something.
Like when I say I love food, like your girl loved food as a kid, and like growing up I've always loved food, and like I lost a lot of weight when I was in like grade 6, and then like puberty hit and stuff like that. I leaned out a bit more, and then I think in high school I just like played sports and stuff, and I was just like skinny fat almost. Like you wouldn't think that I was fat, but like I just wasn't very lean or toned or anything, which there's no problem with that. Like I was happy the way that I looked and everything. And then and then when I told Chris, I was like, I'm going to cut, I'm going to stick to my diet, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, that's good. And then like we were tracking my weight like every day, and he was like, bro, what is going on? And I was like, because this was like in December, and this was like Christmas time, New Year's. My friends and I went away, and I was like, bro, like I'm trying to have fun, you know? And then Chris was like, sat me down like in one of my check-ins, and he was like, hey, bro, like we need to have a serious conversation. He was like, if you want to compete as an under 60, like you got to take this cut seriously. And he's like, I think you need a little bit of guidance. And I was like, oh, okay, like who are you thinking? And he's like, there's a nutrition coach that I met in Sydney, because Chris moved to Sydney. And he was like, oh, he's really cheap, like $35 a week. He's really, really good. He's written like a book on like how to make weight on comp day and that sort of stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'd be keen to check him out. Shot him a message, started working with Raz. Shout out at Raz Output. He literally, we had, I think, 6 to 8 weeks. I think it was like 6 to 8 weeks that I had to cut down. And I was sitting at like...
How many kilos?
I think I was sitting at 63 kilos, and I needed to be under 60. So it was a massive, massive cut. And like... at the start, I was like slowly dropping weight to like 62, 61. And then once I hit 61, like my body stopped cutting weight, because like my body didn't like being below 61. And then it was so weird. And then I got like really like, I had like this little mental breakdown in the middle of my cut. And I was like saying to Raz, I was like, oh my God, like I don't think it's going to work. Like I'm going to be overweight. Like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, bro, like, just trust the process, it's fine. And he literally had me on high days and low days for like when I was training legs, and then like on all my low days, like when I was training upper and when I wasn't training, I was on the same amount of calories. And like at one point I remember I was at work, and because I'm a nurse, I'm on my feet all day, and I'm like walking around, running around, like trying to get stuff done on time. And I remember I was so hungry, but like I couldn't eat anything, and I brought iceberg lettuce to work just to fill me up, and it was so depressing. And I remember Sonny and I went to the movies, and this is in the middle of my cut, and they gave us free popcorn, free drinks, and neither of us could eat it because we were both on a cut. But Sonny was smart. He saved his dinner to eat in the cinema. I went and bought a packet of iceberg lettuce from Coles to eat in the cinema, and bro looked at me. I opened the packet, all he could hear was me crunching down. He was like, bro, all I can hear is you eating your fucking lettuce. He was like, this is so sad, but he found it very, very amusing, and like, you know, it helped. And then by the time I started losing weight, I just kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Like it was literally, once I went below 60, I just kept going down. And then on comp day, I ended up weighing 58.6, which is like 3, 2, 1.
4 and a bit kilos.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And like it was actually like crazy. And it was really, really hard. There were some days where I was like, shit, like I could fuck up 55 wicked wings right now if I wanted to. And
Do you reckon you could?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair. Is that even a question?
Yeah, I was like, wicked wings, there's something about fried chicken that like connects to my soul.
Yeah.
Like I would sell my soul for a wicked wing, like a good juicy wicked wing.
It's the way to Sammy's heart if anyone's listening. Mate, talk to us a bit about balancing fun, social, and food.
I think something that was really interesting to see was in the week before comp, so really deep into my cut, I actually had a wedding the week before. And you know weddings, everyone's drinking, everyone's eating, everyone's doing this sort of stuff. And like I was super, super worried that I would go overboard because like when I start, I don't stop. I have no self-control when it comes to food. And I spoke to Raz about it and we came up with a game plan and he was like, look, try and I sent him the menu of the wedding food and he was like, eat this, this and this and don't eat the dessert, don't eat the sauce of like this part, but the rest of it is good because there was like chicken breast and there was like beef and that sort of stuff. And then he was like, just make sure you eat like your protein on the day, try and limit like, you know, going overboard too much, but don't restrict yourself too much if you can't help it. That's fine. Like I don't want you to feel like you're having the worst time of your life. It's a wedding and it was my first wedding that I'd ever been to. And I had so much fun. I didn't drink or anything. Like he was like, if you want to drink, like go for it. We can just adjust like your macros to it. But he was like.
And you're like, I couldn't think of anything worse.
I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to feel fucking terrible the next day if I drink. And then I had so much fun. We danced all night. I was literally having the time of my life. There was so much good music and like it is like just the people around you. Like if everyone else around you is having fun, like I feel like you don't need anything. And I think like at that point I sort of forgot about the cut. I forgot about the food.
Were there instances where people are like inviting you out to have food and everything?
Oh, 100%.
Definitely. I think food is such a social glue.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the biggest detractors from being able to successfully execute a cut.
Yeah.
I definitely found it, especially going into a new job. I was in the office. There's always like snacks going around or lunches going around and you're there like, I'm on a 6-week challenge. Like I can't have any of this.
Yeah.
I remember some people came from like the APAC stores and were visiting and everything and they had this set menu lunch and I had to be like, I'm so sorry. Literally worst day ever. I had to go up and be like, I'm so sorry guys. I need to have my
I'm
own
a degenerate and I'm on a cut.
So what's it like navigating that experience and have you found a workaround for it? Because I think
I think it's really hard. I think it does require a lot of self-control because I remember when I was working like night shifts, the thing that I do on night shifts is I always bring snacks for the ward because it's just fun. Like, you know, everyone brings something. I bring either a sweet treat or something savoury. And even when I was on my cut, I was bringing these snacks because I wanted everyone else to eat. I was like living vicariously through them. I was like, please eat them. I'm craving these and I can't have them. And like someone asked me, they're like, why'd you even bring these snacks if you can't have them? Like you're just torturing yourself. And I was like, oh, like, you know, it's a nice thing to do for the ward. And like, you know, we're all on night shift. We're all suffering together. But it was just that matter of self-control and like being like, look, I can put something in front of me and not eat it. And the same goes, like sometimes I would go out with friends and like, you know, they might go get yochi or like they might get dessert or something like that. And I would just get like a coffee or something like that instead that was a bit more macro friendly. And I think they understood. And the way that I explained it to them was like, I'm paying for a nutrition coach. Like I'm spending money on my nutrition. Like I have to do this. And like people are like, oh, you're too young to like, you know, restrict yourself and blah, blah, blah. But like it wasn't a long-term thing. Like I knew it wasn't sustainable, but it was just something that I was doing for the 6 to 8 weeks that I had before this competition. And that was just my goal. Like, that's all it was. And there were like majority of my friends were so supportive of me. And they were like, you know, when this cut ends, like, we're going to eat this. We're going to fuck this shit up. We're going to fuck hot pot up. We're going to fuck dessert up. Like, we're going to eat all of these things like over and over again. And like, instead of eating, my friends and I, like, one of my high school friends and I went bowling instead, just so that it was something that like didn't involve food. And I think a lot of the time we are so like used to having food as our like social thing. Like, people say smoking is their social, like a social, what did they say? Social smoking? I was like, social sport. I was like, I don't know what to call it.
Could be a sport. Give the lungs a workout.
No, literally. But like, we would organize to do things like that instead, or like, you know, we'd go watch a movie and like try and get like sugar-free drinks and then like get like snacks and stuff like that. And like, it's good having the gym community as well and friends that like also go to the gym, because they understand it a little bit more, because they themselves are going through it. Like, if I were going on a cut and you were going on a cut, like, we would both at least understand it. And 100%. I think you were like
I just started as you cut. Yeah, because I think I was in like week 2 or 3 when TSF happened, and you had just finished and everything, and I was like, I brought like my meal prep to come
TSF,
take some videos and whatnot. So I think the idea of the gym community and surrounding yourself with people who understand, or just setting your boundaries as well, like being pretty clear with your goals and understanding that there's a time frame on these sorts of things as well. Was that something that helped a lot? Like you said, okay, this is the comp that I'm finishing at. Like, let me be until then, and then we can do whatever.
Yeah, and like, that was what we did. And like, I was kind of just like, look, like, we can plan this date and this date after the comp to go eat whatever the hell you want. And like, I'm so down, because like, I love food. It's not that I don't want to eat. It's like, I'm trying to like reach my goals, and like, once I set something up for myself, I'm very stubborn in the sense that I'm not going to like stop until I get there. And like, my friends all know that, like, I think they sort of know that I'm not going to give up or not going to give in, sort of thing. So yeah, it was definitely like, oh, like, everyone, this is the date. Plan everything else after that date. Before that date, it can be like macro-friendly things. And like, I remember on Valentine's Day, me and my best friend Sandy from work, we were gonna do a dinner, obviously, for Valentine's Day, but we just like went to the arcade together instead, and we just like it was actually so funny. Like, there was like teenage boys coming up to us and going, "Oh, there's no way that you two are alone on Valentine's Day." I was like, brother, show me your ID right now. How did you get here? By bus? I was just like, what the fuck? And they like just kept talking to us, and I was like,
hey, beggars can't be choosers, mate. You can't be setting these. Actually, no, never mind. You went out for Galentine's.
Yeah. Okay. It's not like I was asking to have a date.
True.
I was just like, and we like politely were like, haha, no thanks. And then they just kept talking to us. It was just so awkward. I was like, we were at like the toy machine, and they just kept talking, and I was like, if we ignore them for long enough, maybe they'll just go.
So this one's a double-ended question, and I think it's relevant to both that scenario and also food, but more towards food. When does it become too far, do you feel? Because obviously the way that you cut was not sustainable.
No way. No way. I think when it comes too far is like when you really start like hating food. And I think it's something that like I see very prevalent in a lot of females in the gym. And it's very like a lot of girls do develop eating disorders and things like that, which is a very, very real thing. And I don't think people realize that they're doing it to themselves. And sometimes things like cutting and making weight, or like bodybuilding and other sports where you do need to make weight, I feel like you don't realize you're doing it, but you're like inducing an eating, like a self-induced eating disorder. And then people start having massive problems with their bodies and things like that. And I think for us, like everyone who goes to the gym, whether you like it or not, you have body disorders. Like, you can tell yourself whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter how strong you are. You are never going to be happy enough with your body. Like, there's always something where you're like, oh, just like a little bit more and like I'll be happy.
You know what I see? I see Jackson, who's just won his fucking IFBB pro card, is posting his check-in saying, yeah, you know, like could develop my back a bit more. Like just a bit more. I'm just like, fuck, man. Leave some of the rest of us.
And yeah, you look at your back and you're like, well, what the hell am I? I'm just
My
nothing.
back is half his back,
Yeah.
but anyway. Oh my God. I think let's dive into food as kids as well.
Yeah,
Because
right.
obviously we're in the gym space now. We've sort of took it upon ourselves to make ourselves a better human by going to the gym, working out, being healthy, yada, yada, yada. For myself, I feel like I've always been skinny fat. Or actually, not always. I was very skinny as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I got chubby, as you do, as a little kid.
As a normal kid does, yeah.
Opened up a hard drive
Oh,
the
the
other
bat in
night.
the cave.
Oh my God. What the fuck? I love how that's what you picked
That's
up.
all I remembered. I was like,
all-
bro's got a booger.
Oh my God, I'm a kid, man. Allow it. And I saw some of the photos. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I understand where all this body dysmorphia sort of comes from. Like you were a bit chubby.
Yeah.
Very active kid, but still chubby, which happens.
Yeah.
And then went through this like skinny fat phase because I was doing swimming. So, you know, you try to like shred down for school carnivals.
Yeah,
you do your
yeah.
push-ups the night before that. Because I was a good swimmer, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was definitely conscious of my body and everything.
Just imagine your mum like hearing all this banging upstairs. She's, what the fuck? She
Shut
opens
the
your room. You're just doing like 100 burpees in your fucking room. What the hell?
So that was my story. No, but I think, it went into gym at like 16 and was like still skinny fat, but trained quite well, got like some sort of muscular definition, which I think in high school, everyone's like, wow, holy shit.
You're so big. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Literally. And then went into year 12, started like powerlifting, but not really, just like a lot of strength training because I just liked lifting heavy weights and got so big during COVID. Like I was wolfing down dinners.
Bro, me too.
At like my ex-partners, at
Yeah.
mine. It was just,
Did you find that after you got with your partner that you gained the comfy weight?
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And for me, it was like I was in and out of relationships. I was like in and out and then in and out.
Pause.
Whoa, pause. No, but it was like back to back.
Yeah,
And
right.
this is something I'm trying to, I literally, yep. We're not proud of it, but no, it's not like not proud of it. I think,
It was a learning experience for you, and you were young. Like I feel like everyone goes through that stage when they're younger, where they're like, "Oh, I need someone, or I need to be talking to someone." Blah blah blah.
yeah, and I think I'm experiencing that now, like just being in that like single era. But
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's like lonely, but it's peaceful at the same time. I get to just be myself,
Yeah.
do my own things,
Definitely.
understand how I work by myself as well. Because for the longest time, I haven't been
Yeah.
by myself, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, yes, I'll have my friends and family and everything, but when you have a partner, it's almost that like other person that you
Yeah.
report to.
Definitely.
So that's been very interesting. But yeah, fuck me, the comfy weight was just like, I reckon I added like 10 kilos.
Yeah.
So I was almost tipping the scales at 100.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't
cannot
remember
believe
what
it.
you used to look like, to be honest. I like what met you last year, but all I can I only know you now, and like, bro just doesn't know how to wear a t-shirt at the gym anymore. So like, this is all I know.
Hey,
about.
allow it. Hey, allow
I'm
little
kidding.
Jadyn.
You worked hard. You deserve to walk around with your t-shirt off at the gym.
Shout out Emerge Gym Coaching. Incredible. I think
Oh,
just
100%.
I lost 12 kilos in 8 weeks.
Oh, you did fucking amazing work. Like you worked really, really hard, and it paid off. And you look good. You're eating good.
Feel good.
Feel good. Yeah.
I think a lot of people looked at the diet and they're like, oh my God, like you're restricting so much. And bro, I was having the fattest muffin in the morning ever, having Greek yogurt with berries.
Yeah.
Like good food,
Yeah.
chicken,
Like
potato.
nutritional,
Yeah.
like nutritious food.
100%.
Yeah.
That's satiating.
Yeah.
And for me, what I'm understanding now is my ability to portion control is it's just shit. It's just so shit. I'm literally seafood I eat.
Yeah, I was like, bro, if you give yourself like no restriction, someone gives you food, do you just like eat all of it?
Don't take me to all you can eat.
Yeah.
Because I will outlast you.
Yeah.
Guarantee. That should be a food challenge.
We should so do it.
That.
Yeah, when we're not cutting, we should do a food challenge.
Yeah, done. But no, it's been like an incredible experience. I think you learn a lot about yourself and what you are capable of.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
All these people are running marathons and shit, but try and diet down and like get lean.
Yeah.
See how that feels. Obviously, we're not promoting any EDs or anything. No. I think it's very important that you do invest in a nutritionist or a coach, someone that understands food and the way that your body works. So just to put that out there.
Yeah, and I think it's really, really good to be honest with them, because I think if you do struggle with eating or you have an eating disorder, I think you need to tell them and preemptively like plan things, because sometimes you might like get to a point in your cut and you might just start feeling really shit about food or feeling shit about yourself. And I think it's really important to just keep that open communication with your coach about that, because they will know what to do, and they will have someone who knows what to do and like give you that sort of insight on that. But are you now like clean bulking? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm in my like lean gain
like
phase.
Maintenance-ish phase. Yeah. So am I.
Put on. Oh, we're like bro. Sammy and I, and we're gonna get into this very shortly. But Sammy and I feel we're like long lost siblings.
Yeah, siblings. Yeah.
I was gonna say like cousins, but siblings works.
Cousins.
Siblings works. Massive traps. Fat.
We literally built the same.
Yeah,
That's a fucking thing.
Like I went through our fat phase. Yeah. It was great.
We cut together. Like everything literally. We did was like similar path.
Literally.
But yeah, I was just gonna say like it's also important to like not be always cutting, and like that's not sustainable. It's like really important to know that like when I was cutting, I had abs. I looked great. I was just like, wow. Never seen those muscles before, and now I'm like fluffing out a little bit, but it's okay. Like I'm not like, I'll be really honest, I don't love the way that I look as much as I did, but I'm still sort of like, wow, I feel so much stronger and I feel so much better, and I'm able to eat a little bit more freely, and I'm able to have a bit more social eating. Like that makes me feel good, and I think mentally that's really good for me. And like I think if I was really struggling or my weight was going completely the other way or something like that, like Raz and I would have a chat, and like I would talk to him and say like, hey, like what can we do? Like or like if I was struggling with the way that I looked, I'd probably chat to him and Chris and just be like, hey, like feel like the body dysmorphia is hitting a little too hard at the moment. But I think like at the end of the day, with my goals in training, like being strong and like having worlds as like a goal, I think knowing that eating more is going to help me get there, and that's how the only way I'm sort of going to get stronger to build muscle, because I can't build muscle without fueling my body. It's like it's really good to keep that in mind. And like, I look healthy. I'm not overweight or anything, like, and I know someone out there in the gym or like someone out there in the world who has just started their gym career might look at my like physique and go like, I want to look like that one day. Whereas I'm just like, bro, I just feel so pudgy today.
Yeah, some people approach me and they're like, you have like my dream physique and those sorts of things. So it's good to remember where you started as well.
Definitely.
And I'm not saying I'm like fucking Adonis or, some like Hercules or whatever the fuck. But it's nice. Like it's obviously nice to be recognized by it. But food is fuel. Make sure you fuel your body correctly for the types of training or whatever you're wanting to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And where your goals are set.
Yeah.
Sammy, we're matching. Can you fucking believe that?
I literally texted Jadyn before. I was like, what should I wear? And he was like, bro, we're going to the gym. Just wear whatever you're going to wear to the gym. And I was like, all right. So I rock up and bro's wearing the same thing as me.
What the
This is why I ask you, what are you wearing?
I feel like sometimes we pull up in the inverse or the or the
it's
matching.
always the black top, purple shorts.
Yeah.
We're always wearing that on the same day, or like the green.
I was going to say the green and the
and the
black.
Green and the black, sometimes the brown also matching, but yeah, I feel like we've been rocking up in twin fits, and I'm like,
Literally.
someone's got to change. It's not me.
You had yellow pants on, brother.
Yeah, and then it was 45 degrees in this room. I literally walked up into this room, and I don't think you realised the heater was on for
No, I turned it on. I made sure it was on.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be comfy, gonna be nice and
Bro was
cozy.
trying to gas me out of this room. I walked in here, I was like, brother, what the
It's a
hell?
sauna.
Yeah, I'm wearing, this is a thermal because it's cold outside. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll be prepared. I walk into this room, I'm like, holy shit, this is a different fucking continent. It's not the same weather as outside.
Okay. We get it. We fucking get it. These are precious minutes that we're wasting
sorry.
of listeners. Gosh. I'll say thank you for listening, if you still are.
Yeah, sorry if I yapped away. I don't blame
It's a
you for
yap
clicking out. Yeah.
How did we meet? We met at a
Through-
merge, yes?
Yeah, at a merge through a mutual friend.
Hmm.
I think you were saying hi to him, and I was just loitering in the back, like just standing there like an NPC.
One of the things I can't stand is when I meet people or when I'm with people and they don't introduce me to them.
No,
I make
but-
it a conscious effort
Yeah,
to.
no, I'm really bad at that. Like, that's really annoying, but I'm so...
Yeah.
It's because I'm so and I won't stop talking. Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, Jadyn's here too. Like, oh hi everyone, this is Jadyn.
PSA to everyone, please, when you are seeing people in public, you know that person, but the person that you're with doesn't know that person. Introduce them.
Yeah, because it's so awkward because then you're just standing there and you're like, should I say something?
Twiddling my thumbs, just like, what is happening?
I'm here too.
Literally. Well, we met at Emerge.
Yeah.
So Emerge, makes friends, cuts people down in a positive way.
Yeah, not a bad way. Yeah.
First impressions.
Oh, I didn't even know. You just seemed really happy. That's what Jazz and I always say. Jazz and I always like, oh yeah, Jadyn just is always happy, except for when you're on your cut, you're a little bit sassy.
Oh, wasn't it? I think I was just
you were joking, but like we were like, wow, Jadyn, it was just like a little joke. And we're like, now Jadyn's on his cut, he just feels like he can just be a bitch to everybody.
No, just
like
slander, man.
Dark circles under his eyes, just a Zempic face, and he was like, "Fuck everybody," and we're like, "Okay, we just leave Jadyn alone, 5 meter radius."
What? I need proof.
No, I'm kidding. It's just something that we just joked about.
That's really sweet. I feel like that's like a nice compliment.
Yeah, and I remember, I think the first time I met you, Life with Lamb was brought up because Jazz was buying a tote or something, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's random. Like, what's that? And then she was like, oh, Jadyn has like this podcast. And I was like, oh, random. Cool. And then how did we started training together? Is that what happened? I don't remember what happened.
I think I followed you after because you were jacked.
Yeah, this was
Keyword were.
What? Don't ask me now.
You were so jacked.
Yeah,
I was literally like, brother, what?
I want to look like that.
You had the fucking biggest back ever.
I did. This was back when like I deadlifted with just my back. No legs.
You had like abs on your back.
Yeah,
it was
I actually
crazy.
did. Like my erectors were erect. They were huge.
What the fuck?
They were doing its thing.
Anyway, you were really jacked
Yeah.
and you seemed very happy as well. So
Yeah.
follow the networker in me, obviously. Flick you a follow. And I think you were training at Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know if you posted on your story like looking to move gyms or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
I feel like I might have mentioned it on my stories. But then we started talking and we were like, oh, we should tee up a session to train together because we were both powerlifting and we were like, oh, maybe we should just do a session. And like I was very new to the powerlifting culture and community at the time, and I think you might have been the only other powerlifter that I sort of really knew. Because I wasn't training with Chris then, and I didn't know Jess, and I didn't know everyone
Can you
else.
believe that? You're welcome.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, you were actually the reason why I even knew Jess and Chris, and then like met Z and Naveed, who then begged me to move to Cruise, and like this it all started from you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's all good. No, it's it. Like I think, obviously saw a lot of potential in terms of like a friendship and just like training
definitely.
and had the powerlifting as like a common ground. And yeah, just said, let's tee up a sesh.
Yeah.
Saw you lift and I was like, okay, cool. It's all good. think we benched.
Yeah,
Was
we
that
benched.
it?
Yeah, we benched.
We
And then
benched.
you know what's so funny? I did like 50 for 5 and I nearly died and I grinded out that last rep and you're like, oh my God. Yeah. And then it was crazy because like last week I just did like 65 for a double and that's like a PB for me.
That's
that used to
crazy.
be like a single PB for me like a couple months back. So I'm like,
I think, the progress has been incredible.
yeah,
and
definitely.
the friendship has also been incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you about this and address the fucking elephant in the room.
What the hell are these allegations, man? Why is everyone? I don't understand. I had a very clear understanding that we were related and we don't be doing that Sweet Home Alabama shit. But apparently there are rumors that people think that we are together.
So just addressing that one.
No.
We're not together. We're
No, we're
very
actually
good
related.
friends. We're actually probably like blood
Well,
related.
I've been asked by people before, like, Kenny at the gym asked if I was related to Life with Lamb. Oh no, he asked, are you related to Lamb? And I was like, who's Lamb? And I was like, oh, he means Jadyn. I was like, nah, bruv, we just look the same.
Which leads me to another question, and that is, can guys and girls be friends?
Yes.
I think we're both in the respective, like, what do you call it? So for a girl, it's like, oh my God, what's it called? Like when you're a particular cat? Like,
What?
no. Oh my God. It's actually left my brain. Oh my God, this is too awkward. Tomboy. No, tomboy.
yeah,
tomboy,
yeah.
not cat. What the fuck?
What? I was like,
Because
cat.
it was like Tom and Jerry.
Oh.
It's like Tom, yeah, anyway. So tomboy.
Sorry. Yeah, tomboy.
So tomboy, what's the like guy equivalent? Because I
Girly
think
pop.
you think I'm a girly pop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right,
I'm joking. Nah. Yeah, I don't even know what the literal guy version of that is, like your zesty.
Zesty. I was literally going to say that. Yeah, I'm going to be zesty. No.
It's not zesty if it's for the homies, so that's...
I personally don't sing that way, but I think...
I've seen the way you act around some male friends.
I'll always
Love the homies.
love the homies.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, so we're both in our like respective camps where it's like you're friends with quite a few guys.
Yeah.
I would say I'm friends with quite a few
Yeah.
girls as well. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
We love that.
I definitely think it's okay, and I think it's like a massive thing on the internet. Every time I see like TikToks on my For You page and it's like, oh, I would never let my boyfriend have a girl best friend, or I'd never let my girlfriend have a guy best friend. They're like, oh, I know what
You
they're
are
up to.
insecure.
Yeah, but I'm like, but also if they give you a reason not to trust them, then why are you with them? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, why don't you trust them? But I do see it happen though, because I have a first-hand experience in my friendship group where two people were just friends and now they're dating. So
Well, I think it happens more often than not.
yeah,
And that's probably where the stigma comes from as well.
yeah, definitely.
So it's like, how do you address it? You know, like I think guys and girls can definitely be friends. I don't know why there's such like a weird.
I think it's just all about setting boundaries, right? Like it's just like any sort of relationship you have with anyone. Like you're not going to let your boss slap your ass, are you? Like that's just weird. Like boundaries, bro. But like you can be friends with your boss and you can like have a good like relationship with them, but you wouldn't cross those sort of boundaries. And it's the same thing with your friends, right? You have to set those boundaries and make sure it's kind of like just being clear that like this is what I want in like the friendship, because I think sometimes it is hard because like people get sent mixed signals, or like guys are like, oh, like I don't know, like, you know, and like girls are like, oh, I feel like, you know, I like them, but like I don't know what to do. And it's like, it's all about like being really honest and like how much do you value your friendship with that person. And I like value a lot of my friendships. Like they're all I've got. Like they're my family, right? So it's a bit weird in it.
Don't shoot what you eat, hey?
Yeah.
And I think like for me, it's a work context. Like a lot of people that work at the company that I'm at are
Definitely.
women,
Yeah.
which is fine. And
Yeah.
I think it's like a mature thing to be friends with like the opposite sex as well. Like you
think
can't be
it's-
treating other
No.
people like an incel.
No, literally. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, are you all just like, can you not like have a friendship with just like if they were the same sex as you're telling me that you would just like be friends with them, like just because they're not of the same sex, you can't be friends with them. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't compute in my head. And I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. And I think it's like, you just have to make it very clear that you're just wanting to be friends, because I understand that there are certain people out there, and like I've seen girls and guys do it, where they're wanting to be friends with someone for a very particular reason, and it's like, yeah, bruv, like, out. That's just, like, don't make it weird, because it's like, then you just make the friendship weird, and like, if you're not clear on that, then it's like, okay, because then it's really awkward if, like, say one person likes the other person and the other person doesn't like the other. And then one day one person thinks like, oh, they're sending me signals like this is go. You go, oh, I like you. And they go, what the fuck? You're like, whoa. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we would just,
So
you know.
what, who has the onus then? Is it the person with the feelings, or is it the person without? Because I think it's kind of arrogant if you're the person without and you're just like, by the way, I don't like you. So like, just don't think anything of it.
But the person without the feelings, it's your job to just make sure that, like, you know that we're, like, you're bros. Like, I think I make it very clear that, like.
What are the clear, well, I don't know, some people can't read the room. I'm not going to fucking lie. So what are some clear ways to identify that someone is not into you?
I think
I
it's
can't believe
just
we're
like,
getting into this.
I think it's just like, you have to like really pick up on the way they talk to you. I think especially for me, like, I am such like a bro. And
You
it's
actually
like,
are a bro.
someone said to me, they're like, you kind of speak like a bro, but like, obviously you're not actually a bro. And I'm like, yeah. And like, I think a lot of my guy friends sometimes forget that I'm not actually a guy. Which is like, great. Like, that's what I want. Like, that's the precedent that I've set up for like our friendship, right? But it's just like the way they're talking to you, like, do they speak differently when they're talking to you? And like, are they speaking differently in a group setting sort of thing? Like, it's sort of like being observant, but also like, I think for girls, like, I don't know, there are some girls who are really, really touchy. I think if girls are really touchy with you, like, there might be something there, but like,
that blurs the fuck out of the lines, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and like,
that shit is, you're like,
what the
what's
hell?
happening?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
we hug, and that's fine, and like dap each other up, but no touch.
No touch. I'll give you a spot only.
Yeah. But like, that's it. But like, there are some guys like,
Brother, pull your fucking head in. I'm not gonna lie. That shit pisses me off.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, that looks so desperate. Or like,
yeah, I don't know.
Unless it's reciprocated and like you're both flirting, I get that. Also, don't do it in front of me. If I can't be happy, nobody can. But like,
have you had experiences where, say, like another girl has been like, oh, like, Sammy, you're really close with like those guys, that sort of shit? Like,
yeah, I think like my whole life people have probably thought that about me. I've had like instances where people are like, oh yeah, my ex-girlfriend didn't like you, but I just never told you because like
actually I will not put that
in. Cut that out.
I'll cut that shit out.
Yeah, so I've had people come up to me like after they've broken up with their partners saying like, hey, like, I never told you this because I didn't want to make it weird when I was with them, but like, they were never really that comfortable with our friendship. And I was like, really? Why? And like, one, I don't want your man. Like, I don't know how clear. If I wanted your man,
I'd have them.
I'd make that very clear. But like, also like, two, I want you more than I want your man.
This is a PSA from Sammy. Yeah. It's like, please, I don't want to steal your man. Like,
no, literally, because like, also like, three, I'd rather shove every fucking fork prong in my eye than to like do anything with my guy friends. Like, that's gross. That's like kissing your dad. Like, what the hell? Why would you do that? Do you know what I mean?
There's some DILFs out there. No.
Okay.
No,
well, just aside from Jadyn.
I actually wanted to ask though, because I think it's quite a common thing, especially like within the same sex, if they see that this person's hanging out with a different gender, there's that like
assumption that they're like,
oh, she gets around quite easily. That's it. Or it's like, oh wow, he's like a bit of a like fuck boy.
Yeah, he's like hanging out with all his chicks.
Yeah, literally. So it's an uncomfortable dynamic because it's like these people are genuinely my friends.
Yeah.
But sometimes like the boys will be like, oh, like, well done, bro, all that sort of shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, these guys are my friends.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's like, like sometimes I get like a lot of people going like, oh, are you dating this person? Oh, are you talking to this person? Like, bro's just spotting me. Like, it's not that deep. What? And I'm like, ew, no. Like, I don't know them like that. Like, we just go to the gym together and like we're just at the same gym and he just happens to be there and I just needed a spot. Like,
So what is the solution, Sammy? What is the solution?
I don't actually even know that there is a solution. I think it's just you have to be very open with the communication and just have to be very clear that you don't want anything. And like, I think it just comes down to respecting the other person, right? Like if you have feelings, then it's up to you whether or not you want to take that step forward and explore that. But if you do that, I think it's like respecting that the other person might not feel the same way about you, and that's okay, right? Like not everyone's gonna like you back. Like you're not.
No, but I played the friend card and built it up to this relationship.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. And there are guys who are like, that's their riz, and I'm like, bro, that's weird.
That's like ultimate underdog story. You put yourself in the friend zone. You're in the trenches.
That's everyone. Everyone on TikTok thinks that every single person who has opposite sex friends, that's their motive. And I'm like, bro, no, everyone's that horny. Like it's what the hell?
Like, no, I'm not saying for myself, bro.
Like, well,
what the fuck?
No, but other people, I get that, and I've seen.
Yeah, 100%.
I have seen it happen. But yeah, I guess there's not really a solution for that. But I think it's just like, don't make assumptions, right? I say that, but I'm someone who is like, I am Detective Gadget. The minute I see two people together that are not usually together, I'm doing investigations. I'm like the FBI. If you guys ever need to find anyone, Chris said that I should do this because he's like, you are the best stalker I've ever found, like ever spoken to. He's like,
it's like a female talent.
Yeah, he was like, people should pay you $5 to find like their gym crush or something. He's like, I guarantee that you would find them. Like recently on the weekend, my friend went to a basketball game and she was like, oh, this guy on this team was like really cute. I was like, okay.
So that's
drop the team, drop the number. 2 seconds. Found his Instagram.
But that's obvious, is it not?
She didn't know him.
No, but you could look up the team name and anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was like an easy one. But I've done one before for like my one of my other friends where she met him at like a Muay Thai gym, and yeah, it was just like it was really deep. It took me 30 minutes. That's the hardest one that I've ever done. 30
minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes. That is a long stalk. I had to go through like his work company's like whole like it was.
What you do? You went to LinkedIn.
Yeah, because
wait, that's fucked.
We didn't know his actual full name. He only gave like a nickname.
And you got it?
Yeah.
I respect that.
He had a girlfriend. But bro was still trying to move to her. Do you know what I mean? Like that's whack. I was like, ew.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, in the next episode of
we can talk about that.
Sundays with Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, it's been a good episode,
yeah.
I would say. But I don't know how to end it.
What do we do? We should do an outro.
We should do an outro. We should do a sing song. No. I'm not singing.
Oh, I want to hear Jadyn sing. If we get like 50 listens, we'll get Jadyn to sing on the next podcast.
All right, done. I'll do a debut solo. Be called I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys found some value in that. We discussed a bit of cutting, dieting, community through gym, bonding through being fat, and also cutting through. But also, can guys and girls be friends? Please let us know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Because like for us, we like think yes, but I think it's only because we have friends that are of opposite sex without like making it weird. So I'm just like, what do the audience think?
Yep. I'm about to make it out of the trenches, everybody. No, fuck it. Guys and girls can be friends.
All my guy friends, you're not making shit.
There is no hope.
There's no hope.
Once you're in there, you're fucking
you're
in
out.
there.
See you later.
Well, until next time.
Yeah.
Peace.